After everything we went through with the COVID outbreak, forgive me if I'm a little bit skeptical or questioning of the latest breaking news on monkeypox and the World Health Organization treaty. From PrecisionVaccinations.com, your premier destination for vaccination news, certified by NewsGuard as credible. 13 million freeze-dried monkeypox, smallpox vaccines ordered. My friends, have you seen the news about the potential monkeypox case in Massachusetts? What about the news of 23 suspected cases in Spain? I believe it's 23. What about the 17 potential cases in Montreal? Could we be facing the emergence of a monkeypox outbreak? I certainly hope not. Apparently, it's possible to contract monkeypox through airborne respiration, through consuming bodily fluids of another person. I know that sounds like it's not something you're likely to do, but it could be that somebody coughs or spits and then you ingest something and boom, y'all got monkeypox. Now, what is the treatment, or I should say the prevention method for monkeypox? Why? It's the smallpox vaccine. There's a lot of interesting questions that are emerging about this. Apparently, I don't want to bury the lead here. The Jynneos vaccine was approved by the US FDA in 2019. So the vaccine they're ordering now, breaking news as of yesterday, was approved only a few years ago, and now we're seeing monkeypox cases? That's kind of crazy to me. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no evidence of any malfeasance. I just think, considering what happened with the lockdowns, considering what happened with those Democratic governors straight up killing all those old people, you're going to have a lot of people who do not trust what is going on. And while this outbreak is occurring, there is a World Health Organization treaty in which many conservatives are concerned. Mostly conservatives, I'd say anybody who actually followed the news would be concerned that this would create some kind of international control over the US government and its response to future pandemics. Now, I don't think that's all bad, actually. We have a fact check over at timcast.com from Brett McDonald saying it's not as crazy as people think. By all means, criticize the World Health Organization treaty. Mostly, the treaty will not give any enforcement powers to the World Health Organization, but I think it's important to point out that it could result in international issues for the United States if they don't adhere to international agreements. That is to say, while the World Health Organization may not be able to directly enforce anything in this country, you may see a bunch of countries being like, if you don't play ball with us, we cut you out. No more trade deals, no more oil, no food, no imports, no exports. Maybe that's the play. The U.S. has not been particularly good at manufacturing things as of late. So, if you want to entertain this treaty from the World Health Organization, hey man, I got no issue, right? So long as the U.S. takes care of itself, secures its borders, starts producing more energy, starts manufacturing back at home. But if that's not happening, then this World Health Organization treaty could actually be an issue. But let's take a look at what's happening with a bunch of different news stories. One, we've got the vaccine being ordered. Interestingly, this vaccine was ordered right around the time news is breaking about a monkeypox case, potentially in Massachusetts. We'll talk about what monkeypox is. It's basically smallpox. Yikes, man. And then we got a story about Bill Gates, because the conspiracy theory now is that Bill Gates has done it. Okay, dude, I'm not a big proponent of any of that stuff. I think Bill Gates is a bad guy. I think he's dumb. I don't think he's like, what I mean by dumb is, I think he's dastardly. Right? He's got bad opinions and he has bad morals. That's what I really mean to say. I think he's a smart guy who's been able to run a successful business. You'd be stupid to think the guy was not smart. But when I say dumb, what I mean to say is I'm just being derogatory. I mean, I think the guy doesn't understand what his plan will bring about, what he hath wrought on this world when he talks about reducing population, when he talks about misinformation and things like that. I think Elon Musk is actually more on point in his positions. We need more people. We need more development. We need more science. And we need more free speech. Let's go through all the news, though. It is true that Bill Gates warned of weaponized smallpox attacks. Now monkeypox, a very similar disease which uses the same vaccine. We have the story from Precision Vaccination. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com and become a member to get access to exclusive segments from the Timcast IRL podcast, Monday through Thursday at 11 p.m. We're going to have one of those shows tonight, uncensored, not very family friendly. But as a member, you're supporting our journalists. We are trying really hard to hire journalists every single day. But it's really hard. It really, really is, because there's so few of them that do a good job, and there's so few that are actually looking for jobs. But we've got a bunch of people we're planning on bringing on, and it's all thanks to you as members. We're able to bring on good journalists and make sure we're getting you the facts and nothing but the facts. No, that's not true. We have great opinion columnists as well as commentary. Also, you're supporting our infrastructure, which we use Rumble. So when you support timcast.com, you are directly contributing to alternative ecosystems in technology that make us more resilient against censorship. So smash that like button right now, subscribe to this channel, and share this video everywhere you can. Grassroots marketing is the most effective thing you can do. Here's the story from Precision Vaccinations. First, 13 million freeze-dried monkeypox, smallpox vaccines ordered. Denmark-based Bavarian Nordic AS announced today that the U.S. Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, BARDA, exercised the first options under an existing contract to supply a freeze-dried version of the Jynneos smallpox vaccine. Yo, what? The first doses of this vaccine version will be manufactured and invoiced in 2023 and 2024. Okay, full stop. Get out of cities. That's the only thing I can say. I'm so glad I'm in the middle of nowhere. Everybody can stay out of my house. I'm locking the door. No, I'm kidding. They'll probably come and weld our doors shut once we get taken over by Communist China. No. I'm kidding again. We can't be scared. We have to be cautious. You know, I've been washing my hands. I took COVID seriously enough. I think we went over the top with a lot of these policies, and it was really bad for us in the long run. It damaged our supply chain. But right now, as we're talking about gas shortages, gas prices, food shortages, and this is happening, I hope you are all paying attention to all of these things that are happening. It does not mean the world is ending. It just means do not be surprised if you can't get food anymore at some point. I'm not saying you won't be able to. I'm just saying don't be surprised by it. They say, if exercised, additional options on the BARDA contract support the conversion of up to a total of approximately 13 million freeze-dried doses of Jynneos smallpox vaccine that are expected to be manufactured in 2024 and 2025. The majority of the bulk vaccine for these doses have already been manufactured. They've already been manufactured. They already made the vaccine. Okay. No, serious question. Smallpox has not been a concern for some time. Why did they already manufacture the bulk of a 13 million vaccine order? Okay, I don't know. I don't have any answers. A supplement to the existing liquid frozen Jynneos US FDA BLA will be made, comprising phase 3 clinical study data, which has already been completed and reported, together with the manufacturing data to support the approval of the freeze-dried version of Jynneos in 2024. Paul Chaplin, president and CEO of Bavarian Nordic, commented in today's press release, "We are pleased to announce the exercise of the first options under our contract with the U.S. government to deliver a freeze-dried version of the smallpox vaccine with an improved shelf life, which will be manufactured at our new fill and finish facility. This marks a significant milestone in our long-standing partnership with the U.S. government to ensure availability of life-saving vaccines for the entire population. Jynneos is based on a live attenuated vaccinia virus, modified vaccinia Ankara MVA-BN, incapable of replicating in the human body, yet able to elicit a potent immune response. To protect people from monkeypox, the Jynneos vaccine was approved by the U.S. FDA in 2019. Jynneos Imvamune, or Imvanex, was approved by the European Medicines Agency in 2013 and is indicated for preventing smallpox and monkeypox disease in adults. Additional monkeypox outbreaks news is posted at Vax Before Travel. I always say, whenever it comes to stuff like this, talk to your doctor. Don't take advice from internet commentators. That's for sure. But I also want to mention this is very, very different from COVID vaccines, which are mRNA. This is attenuated vaccinia virus. My understanding, it's more of a traditional vaccine, meaning you get a weakened virus in your system, then your body targets it, destroys it, and boom, you got immunity. And if you actually get the non-attenuated virus, your body knows how to attack and destroy it, which is all around a good thing. Plus, this was FDA approved in 2019, so this is not a rush. This is not experimental or whatever people are saying about other vaccines. Take it all into consideration. Talk to your doctor about what's right for you. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As monkeypox cases emerge in U.S. and Europe, Bavarian Nordic Inc.'s vaccine order. Whoa. You may be saying, but Tim, you already told us that we ordered vaccines. No. Bavarian Nordic has secured a contract with an unnamed European country to supply its smallpox vaccine called Imvanex in Europe. Imvanex, in response to the emergence of monkeypox cases, the Danish company said Thursday. Yo, the U.S. and an unnamed country in Europe have ordered millions of smallpox vaccines. Maybe they know something I don't. I have no idea. But let's talk about what monkeypox is first and foremost. I will highlight in the Wikipedia entry for monkeypox. I don't want to actually. I'm going to avoid showing actual monkeypox because I don't think people would appreciate that. It's like causes blisters, bumps, and nasty stuff. Yeah, okay. The prevention right here is smallpox vaccine. Medication is Cidofovir, a brand named Vistadie, is an injectable antiviral medication primarily used as a treatment for cytomegalovirus, retinitis in people with AIDS. Okay, crazy stuff. Monkeypox virus. All right. The monkeypox virus causes the disease in both humans and animals. It was first identified by Preben von Magnus in 1958 as a pathogen of crab-eating macaque monkeys, being used as laboratory animals when 2 outbreaks of a smallpox-like disease occurred in colonies of monkeys. So it's not that monkeys caused it or anything like that. It was just in the lab monkeys. They say, humans can be infected by an animal via a bite or by direct contact with an infected animal's bodily fluids. The virus can also spread from human to human by respiratory airborne contact or by contact with an infected person's bodily fluids. Risk factors for transmission include sharing a bed or room, using the same utensils as an infected person. An increased transmission risk is associated with factors involving the introduction of virus to the oral mucosa. The incubation period is 10 to 14 days. Prodromal symptoms include swelling of lymph nodes, muscle pain, headache, and fever prior to the emergence of rash. The rash is usually only present on the trunk, but may spread to the palms and soles of the feet in a centrifugal distribution. The initial macular lesions exhibit a papular, then vesicular, and pustular appearance. Vaccination against smallpox is assumed to provide protections against human monkeypox infection because they are closely related viruses, and the vaccine protects animals from experimental lethal monkeypox challenges. This has not been conclusively demonstrated in humans because routine smallpox vaccination was discontinued following the eradication of smallpox. So let me just say that they ordered in 2019, they improved the smallpox vaccine and ordered this when we eradicated smallpox. I'm sorry. I find that to be strange. I really do. Because it's like, there's no smallpox anymore. Okay. Let's invest millions of dollars in making smallpox vaccine. Why? Well, Bill Gates did warn us about this. No joke. I think it's funny that everybody's going to point the finger at Bill Gates and be like, this proves malfeasance or nefarious actions when he may have helped you. Not that I like the guy or trust him. Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attacks as he seeks research funds. Bill Gates warned that bioterror could be a bigger threat than naturally occurring epidemics. Let's entertain, from a point of ignorance, what this could be. Now, we don't know what Bill Gates is doing, but he is somebody who's talked about reducing population. There's too many people, he says. All right. Now, I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes, but he says he's warned in November of smallpox terror attacks. Let's just say he was right. What if Bill Gates is just a smart fella? And he was like, I really think there's going to be a smallpox outbreak at some point because of terror. And then we were all like, haha, you're so dumb, Bill Gates. And now we have monkeypox. And he's like, it's a good thing I thought this. He may have just gotten his prediction right. Now, I really think, I'm sorry, guys, I got to say, a lot of people want to go the conspiracy theory route. As much as I think this guy's got really bad ideas, and he's kind of a just all-around bad person, as I often say, Occam's razor. Okay? 2 things. Never assume malice for which, when it could be, oh man, I just ruined Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which could be explained by incompetence. So in this instance, we don't know that Bill Gates is, malicious in any of this stuff. He might just be bad at what he does and he has bad ideas. What if he's just right about smallpox? I believe it is more likely that Bill Gates is just right about smallpox than he's secretly working behind the scenes to actually infect people. Not saying I trust the guy. In reality, I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. But there is a question of this. And now I'm going to trigger all of the blue checky fact checkers. When someone buys an insurance policy against fire on their home, and then there's never been a fire there, and then shortly after the home starts on fire, we don't always just accuse them of starting the fire, but we do investigate. I think that's the funny thing. You know, people might come out and be like, Bill Gates was just right about this. Okay, maybe. I think that's the more likely outcome. But as I stated, if someone comes out and says, I think we need an insurance policy against smallpox, you go, okay, I guess. I mean, we eradicated smallpox, and then a couple of years later, there's monkeypox. I'd just be like, hey, wait a minute. Hold on there a minute. Let's take a look at what's going on in these labs. But I don't know for sure. And that's the big challenge. Everyone's going to tell you you're a conspiracy theorist or whatever. It's like, well, you know, we should investigate the origins of monkeypox and do it legitimately because, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. From CNN. Oh, you got to love CNN. CDC in Massachusetts, health officials investigating monkeypox case. Okay. They say the case of monkeypox was confirmed in a man in Massachusetts who had recently traveled to Canada, state health officials announced earlier in the day. The patient is hospitalized in stable condition at Massachusetts General Hospital, but Dr. Paul Bittinger, the chief preparedness and continuity officer at Mass General Brigham, said during a news briefing, the patient has been in an airborne infection isolation room since last Thursday. The patient, fortunately, is doing quite well now, although did have symptoms that require hospitalization. Bittinger said they are not sure how the patient was infected, but emphasized that historically, this has been a very rare disease with very rare transmission around the world. What we have seen in the UK, in Spain, and Europe has been novel, and that gives us cause for concern. But I think appropriately, people should not be afraid of monkeypox right now. He said the current patient is of no public health risk, adding people should be aware of symptoms but not be afraid. Excellent point. I completely agree with that. Look, it could spread, maybe. They're getting smallpox vaccines. It could be independent of anything like this. And this guy's in the hospital. But pay attention. Seriously. It's been novel before, but my friends, something's going on. You know, let's just put it that way. From globalnews.ca. Strong possibility of 17 monkeypox cases in Montreal area, health officials say. May 19th. I'm sure glad to be in rural West Virginia right now, but we do have a lot of guests who come in and out. So we'll spritz everybody with some disinfectant, make them wear masks from now on. I'm kidding. But you see where this goes. People are now going to say, just wear the mask. We don't want monkeypox. It's so much worse than, say, COVID. I wonder if we can pull up I didn't pull this up earlier, but I'm curious about the mortality rate. Epidemiology says monkeypox as a disease in humans was first detected as an illness, formerly Zaire, Congo, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Whose surveillance between 81 and 86 recorded 338 confirmed cases and 33 deaths. Case fatality rate 9.8%. A second outbreak of human illness was identified in DRC Zaire, 96-97. And what did they say? The Congo Basin clade of disease remains endemic in DRC and has a high case fatality rate. They say the other genetic clade of MPXV occurs in Western Africa. The case fatality rate is less than 1%. No human-to-human transmission was documented until the 2022 monkeypox outbreak in Europe. The WA clade had an first outbreak of monkeypox outside of Africa, blah, blah, blah. So it looks like we've seen less than 1% to upwards of 9.8%. And what we're seeing now, the 2022 monkeypox outbreak, is novel and scary. And Wikipedia now has an entry for it with 33 confirmed cases as of April 29th, 2022. My friends, gas shortage, food shortage, international war, inflation, rising prices, hyperinflation, blah, 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 and monkeypox. It's amazing, isn't it? I hope y'all are paying attention. I can say it a million times. I don't know what will be the wake-up call. Take a look at this. Wikipedia. Human monkeypox is a viral infection caused by the monkeypox virus, a relative of now eradicated smallpox. Generally presents with similar symptoms to smallpox, although usually milder. However, the case fatality rate for monkeypox may still be as high as 10%. All of our principles may be tested, my friends. They say monkeypox is endemic to West and Central Africa. Prior to the 2022 outbreak, the UK had only recorded 7 previous cases, all of which were imported from Africa. The first 3 cases were in 2018. followed by a further case in 2019. This may explain why we ordered the vaccines. We saw the cases and said, how do we deal with this? Let's order vaccines. The only major monkeypox outbreak to be recorded in a Western country prior to 2022 was the 2003 outbreak in the United States. However, it did not feature community transmission. Monkeypox is spread primarily through close contact with infectious individuals. Prior to the 2022 outbreak was not considered to be sexually transmitted. However, the rapid spread of the virus between partners in its initial stages of the outbreak has prompted discussion that intercourse may be a further route of transmission. Okay, man. Check this out. In the UK, 9 confirmed cases. In Spain, 7 confirmed cases, 22 suspected cases. In Portugal, 14 confirmed. The US, 1 confirmed. Sweden, 1 confirmed. Italy, 1 confirmed. In Canada, 13 confirmed. And this is as of May 18th. The latest is 17 potential cases. So we've got new information. Take a look at this one. 4 new cases of monkeypox reported in the UK. They say in May 18th, Portugal investigating 20 further cases, the same day Spain, with 8 suspected cases. The numbers are going up. Now, this was 8 cases in men who enjoy the company of men, to put it in a family-friendly way. The Guardian reports Spain, 23 people are now showing symptoms. I remember, beginning of the year, 2020, when we got reports about COVID, and we reported on it early, we said something strange is going on in China. Now we're seeing reports in multiple countries. What are we going to do about this? And let me ask you this question. Comment below, comment wherever you can. What if 15 days to slow the spread? We can't do it. We've already got baby formula shortages. We can't do it. The crazy thing right now is that our overreaction to COVID may be our doom. Think about it. If monkeypox really is already beyond our control, if the incubation period is 10 to 14 days, similar to COVID, and they've isolated these cases, certainly these people have already had contact with others. Certainly many more people may currently be infected, may currently be spreading the virus. And if you came out now and said, let's take 15 days to slow the spread, everyone would say, bite me. Not going to happen. Okay, but hold on. Monkeypox is very, very different from COVID. I mean, dude, if monkeypox is really spreading. When we were talking on IRL about lockdowns, I was talking, Ian brought up that we might need the lockdowns and it's not authoritarian. And I said, COVID, I don't believe warrants these hard lockdowns. He says, what if it was Ebola? What if there was an airborne Ebola? Would you then call for these lockdowns? And I said, to be fair, I think the degree to which we are scared of the virus results in how many people are willing to support the lockdowns. With COVID, you had mostly elderly people and people concerned for the elderly saying, shut her down. You had young people being like, no, because we weren't scared. If it was airborne Ebola, we'd all be very scared. We'd probably all be like, lock it down. If it's airborne monkeypox rapidly spreading, we're all going to be like, shut it down. Except for the fact that we've already destroyed our ability to do so. In which case, I'm saying the COVID lockdowns may be our doom. Why? By shutting down for COVID, and now even Bill Gates is coming out being like, it's not as bad as we thought. Okay, Bill. We crippled our economy. We destroyed the supply chain, and now we have no reserves left. That freight train, the figurative freight train of the economy was just stopped and the whole thing flips up in the air. Now, facing a real serious crisis, if monkeypox is spreading with a potential 10% mortality rate, we're talking about nearly 1 billion deaths globally if this really did spread. I'm not saying it will. We can't shut down now because we don't got any food or gas left. Which means if we shut down to avert a long fall from the spread of monkeypox with a 10% mortality rate, worst case scenario, we're going to face what kind of mortality from not having food, water, or fuel? Yep. The overreaction to COVID has put us in serious harm. Hey, I take responsibility on some of that stuff. I'm not a genius. I'm not a prophet. I try to do my due diligence, but I don't get everything right. I respect people who get things wrong when they did their due diligence to try and understand, because we don't have to be right, but I respect the research. If monkeypox does spread, we've screwed ourselves. I mean, when COVID was spreading, I thought the mortality rate was going to be really high. I was like, hey, maybe we take a couple weeks. And then they turned a couple weeks into months, into years. How will we handle another outbreak like this? This is crazy. 23 potential cases. I hope this is a one-off, but already, I gotta say, it's not looking good. The government ordering all of these vaccines, look, they don't want to panic. So they're not going to come out and say, we're worried about this. They're going to come out and be like, nah, don't worry about it. Come on, guys, keep working, keep doing your thing. But I don't know if we could actually handle it because of what we did with COVID. Rare and unusual monkeypox cases are causing a global concern. We got this from USA Today. We have monkeypox. Oh, I love this one, my friends. Monkeypox's spread boosts shares of vaccine manufacturer. Well, I know people who invested in, some of these big vaccine companies, pharmaceuticals, and boy, did they get rich, because those no liability contracts are money in the bank. Just saying, not giving financial advice. I love it. Fact check. Did Bill Gates predict the monkeypox outbreak? I'm just going to jump down to their determination. What does Newsweek say? What's your ruling? Mostly false. Well, Bill Gates has spoken previously about the potential threat of smallpox bioterror. The way his comments have been shared has led to a misleading idea that he predicted this outbreak. He has not spoken about the spread of monkeypox specifically. As it stands, only a very small number of monkeypox cases have been reported globally. The risk of catching it, public health officials say, is very small. That's not confidence building. Bill Gates still did warn about this. Good for him, I guess. But what could the response be? Let's pull up a commentary piece from Brett McDonald over at timcast.com. I think it's an excellent piece. He makes excellent points, and we'll have the discussion now. Fact check. Has the U.S. offered to cede sovereignty to the World Health Organization? Even if the new proposals are implemented, the World Health Organization is not granted power over its member states and cannot force them to act in a certain way. Okay. In this tweet from News Nancy, quote, this is the biggest global power grab that we've seen in our lifetimes. Upcoming vote in Geneva over Biden administration's amendments that cede U.S. sovereignty to the World Health Organization over anything they deem a healthcare emergency. Let's break this down. High-profile figures like Rick Scott, former Rep. Michelle Bachmann, and former Trump strategist Bannon have made startling claim about a proposal the U.S. has sent to the World Health Organization. That proposal, which some Republicans call a threat to American sovereignty, outlines several line-item amendments to the international health regulations that govern international emergencies. The purpose of those changes is to allow nations to better deal with situations like COVID-19 and the pandemic. While many people are saying this could result in a loss of sovereignty, Brett says, in any case, the WHO is not granted power within the territory of its member states. It cannot force states to take action or overrule their decisions to not act in a certain way, as it already could. It can still offer recommendations to those states and disclose information to other states about the potential for an international health emergency. These proposals have been characterized as handing U.S.'s sovereignty over to CCP-controlled WHO. However, it's possible that if implemented years ago, the world would have been notified about the potential for a COVID-19 pandemic more quickly. For instance, China would have been obligated to explain why they were quarantining certain planes, and WHO would have been permitted to declare a potential threat. Issues like whether travel restrictions were fair to implement would have been much clearer as well. So what exactly did the amendment say, and what are they trying to address and prevent? I want to pause real quick. With respect to the fact check from Brett, who does an excellent job, mind you. He's fantastic. He's right. He is. But there are some points to be made. It's not always about the dotted line. It's sometimes about how this manifests in terms of soft power. If every nation in the world signs on to an agreement, sure, they can't enforce anything in the United States. What they can do, however, is have every other nation say, if you deviate, we will stop doing business with you. In which case, you may maintain your sovereignty over there in the corner without fuel or supplies because you don't manufacture anything anymore. You see, therein lies the problem. I think the solution to this, for the most part, is the U.S. needs to bring about a resurgence of U.S.-made products and fuel. They go on to mention, a lot of proposed changes to various articles. I'm not going to go through the entirety of the bill, but I'll just read, the conclusion. Oh, there's no real conclusion. It just breaks down all the different articles. They say the striking of not and until such time might appear at first glance to substantially alter the meaning of the paragraph, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I digress. I'm a little bit in the middle in terms of where the fact check is from Brett. It is commentary on a fact check. I think that's very important because commentary means opinion. And it's true to the line. It's true to the text. But my issue here is I personally don't think this discounts the concerns of people like Steve Bannon or otherwise. Having international treaties in these regards puts pressure on a country to align with these other nations. That was the goal of the International Space Station to a certain degree. That because we had these treaties, we had to negotiate properly. But look what happens. The International Space Station has, China, US, Russia, other countries. I think mostly those three, right? When the conflict erupts between Ukraine and Russia, basically the US and Russia, we see that we're just like, okay, we're not working together on this anymore. A lot of people thought that by working together on the space station, it would prevent war. The more ties we had, the less likely war would be to break out. Instead, when war breaks out, the US doesn't just do what Russia wants. Russia doesn't just do what the US wants. They just sever ties. So it's possible that no matter what happens to this treaty, you can still get conflict. I don't think this guarantees anything or guarantees a power grab, but it is a grain of sand in that heap. I think if we were to make moves on things like this, you eventually would cede U.S. sovereignty. So here's my point. Does this treaty do it outright? No. Does it do it peripherally? Yes. Will it contribute to a greater loss of sovereignty? Yes. Those are the important points. The TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, Trump shut it down. Everybody was worried that this would result in global control of foreign countries disrupting the U.S., and absolutely it would. Was it overtly in there? Sort of. The issue is, if you have one treaty with the World Health Organization, you can look at it and go, it's not so bad. And then when you have 9 more, you're like, now our hands are cuffed. That's the issue that I see. My friends, I don't know if monkeypox is coming to get you, but I certainly hope that you pay attention to the possibility. And when the government, various governments, are ordering monkeypox, smallpox vaccines, Bill Gates has warned about smallpox, and now we are seeing monkeypox, maybe somebody knows something. It doesn't mean it's a conspiracy. It could just mean that behind the scenes, they're not telling you everything and they're worried about something. That could be the case. At any rate, I hope you are all safe. I hope you're all active and paying attention to the news, sharing videos like this. We're not going to have any shows tomorrow because we have an important business meeting. And normally I won't take off for anything, but this one actually is fairly important. Going to be talking with some big players. I'm half kidding, but having conversations about infrastructure, big tech, and some important stuff is happening. So we got to catch a flight. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimCastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.